But joined in the studio once again by a good friend of the show, back again from the Vets at Bretby, one of our sponsors at the station. Please welcome Kieran from Vets at Bretby again. So how are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm really good, thanks. Very excited to be here again, so thanks for having me.
No, you're always welcome on the radio, and once again doing a monthly Ask the Vets. I mean, how was your Christmas and New Year? We haven't spoken since before Christmas time.
It was really good, thanks. So my wife was ill, which wasn't ideal, but other than that, she got better pretty much bang on Christmas Day, and then we had a good bit of time off, and it was really nice and relaxing. Nice to eat too much and drink too much.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was going to say, you say it was really good, and then the first thing you say after really good is my wife was ill and I wasn't great, and I was like, oh, okay, sure, but
She got better.
well, it's good to hear. So good shout out to you, Catherine. Hope you're doing all right. This week we've got an interesting topic, and I know from our conversations this week it's one of a favourite of yours. So do you want to just introduce the topic that we've got questions in from our listeners for?
Yeah, so it's about dentistry. So it's Pet Health Dentistry Month or something like that next month. And it's an area I quite like and quite enjoy. It's an area that I guess as vets we've gone from doing nothing to just pulling loads of teeth out to actually looking a bit more what we can do. And there's specialists out there who can do all sorts now. You can get kind of braces and all sorts and put on dogs' teeth if they need them and cats' teeth. And it's an area that I quite enjoy as well. So there's a lot that we can do, and it's an ever-evolving field in veterinary.
Okay, well, as I said, it's a topic that Catherine was telling me you very much enjoy. So hopefully we get a lot of good insight, and it's something that, because I know if I enjoy a topic, I'm well into it, basically. So let's jump in with the first few questions. Now, I think this is, as I said, I sort of told you about this before. We've had this question. You kind of preempted this question as well on your post when I saw. It's about dental and dental chews and that sort of thing. A few people, including my dad, have asked about, is that the best way to is it an effective way of looking after a dog's teeth? Do dental chews and dentistics work?
I think it's there's a long and short answer to this. I guess the short answer is yes in some cases. The way that dog and cat's mouths work is when they chew, they have a scissor action, so their back molars cross over each other. So every time they bite and they chew, it effectively scrapes and cleans their teeth. And the idea of a dental chew or a dental stick or any of those rawhides, that sort of thing, is it enhances that kind of mechanical action of cleaning the teeth. The problems come is if they don't chew very well or effectively. So the boxers have always bitten chunks off, swallowed them, which just doesn't do anything. It's just a very big treat then. Whereas you get some dogs who sit and gnaw on them really nicely, and they're the ones who are going to get the most kind of effect out of it. You can help a little bit. So if you've got a dog or a cat who just literally inhales food, you can hold the end of the dental chew just to get them to gnaw on the side of it. But there are a lot of clients who go, oh, he has a dental stick every day, but his teeth are really bad still. It's usually the first question I ask is, well, how long does it take them to eat it? And if it's seconds, they're essentially spending a lot of money on quite, I guess, energy-dense treats, essentially.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's similar to like actual dentists and people go, oh yeah, I brush my teeth twice a day, but I still need fillings. But then you ask the question and like, oh, I've only brushed it for like 30 seconds a day, or I just do a quick once over basically, and it's not actually doing anything, even if you are, the intention might be there. And also I suppose it's different because dogs probably, or cats, just see it as a treat or something like that.
And also I think it depends on the shape of their mouths as well. So if you think of a traditional I should have brought my little model skull to show you actually.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
I'll bring it next time. where a normal wolf skull, for example, is quite long, their teeth doesn't have much overcrowding. They haven't got pockets where plaque's going to sit and food is going to get trapped. If you look at my little pug's skull, it's quite shortened, which means there's plenty of areas where even when they chew, and even if they chewed a dental stick normally, it's not going to clear off bits of food debris and things like that. I get clients who often go, well, why don't we just give them something harder? And yes, in theory, that does help, but then it does come with its own risks of fracturing teeth and breaking teeth and things like that. You get loads of clients who go, oh, my dogs have had antlers for years, and they've never had a problem. And yeah, I guess that's true. But there's always those cases. I see them probably once every few months of where a dog's chipped a tooth, and it might be a small chip, or equally it might be a whole tooth's gone and split in half type of scenario, which is a bit more serious.
Okay. If a dog or a cat or whatever animal has got these dental chews that they're just inhaling basically, and it's not an effective way of cleaning their teeth. I mean, it sort of goes into some of the other questions from people like, what would be the alternative? What would you recommend for an animal like that?
So, absolute gold standard is brushing. I realise that's not practical for most pets or owners. But a lot of the toothpaste nowadays have got enzymes in, so those enzymes break down a lot of that kind of plaque and bacteria, and they basically prevent plaque from building up as much. If you can rub it on with a finger, that'll do half the job of you mechanically brushing the teeth. But it's getting into that routine of doing it regularly. Some cats and dogs don't like you messing with their mouths, and I guess that's fair enough. I wouldn't want someone poking their fingers in my mouth twice a day. So you can then look at kind of nutraceuticals. So these are like seaweed supplements. You can get water additives, that sort of thing. They're very good at reducing bacteria in the mouth, which is what leads to plaque and that tartar, that hard stuff that goes onto the teeth. And they do work well in some cases. They don't always work effectively if you've already got a lot of build-up there already. So if you've got a nice clean slate to start with, it's a very good way of preventing build-up. If you've got a young dog or a dog who's just had a dental, it would really help those patients. So we do tend to send them home with a little free sample packet and things like that. But it's the ones who've already got a lot of build-up already, it's not going to help them effectively, unfortunately. So with those cases, getting a trip to the vets to see if they need a dental, that sort of thing will help. And just to get them back to a level playing field to start with.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that kind of answers one of the questions of Lisa, is that her cat won't let her anywhere near her mouth, and are there any other ways of looking after her teeth? And you're saying sort of those nutraceuticals, the things that are going to tackle bacteria in the mouth effectively, which is kind of a preventative of, plaque, etc. I mean, this is a personal question for me, because animals obviously in the wild, etc., won't clean their teeth or anything like that. How do animals like kind of look after their teeth in any particular way, or is it sort of, do they need that additional help effectively?
It's one of those big things. I mean, animals in the wild don't live as long, and unfortunately, if they are a cat or a dog, they tend to hunt and scavenge quite a lot, and when their teeth go, that tends to mean that that's their time done, essentially. So it is one of the reasons that wild animals don't survive as long as others. Obviously, they get other infections and worms and parasites and all sorts, but it is one of the big things, and you see it a lot in zoos because they're on, I guess, more of a natural type of diet. They don't tend to get as many dental issues and other problems, but they still do need dentistry. And when they notice them going off the food, they do find that they have a lot more dental problems. I guess in the wild as well, it is to do a bit more with diet. If you've got a cat who's hunting every day, they're going to be crunching on bones. They're going to have that normal mechanical action. But you're not getting as many of the breed characteristics that we see in modern day cats and dogs. So you're not getting short-faced cats and dogs. You're not getting dogs who have too long faces and things like that, which can cause their own problems as well. And if they've got kind of orthodontic issues where the teeth aren't in the right positions, they probably are the wild animals that aren't going to make it to the next generation, sadly.
Okay, fantastic. Well, we're going to go into a song here by the Missing Diamonds. They just released a new track, but I haven't got the new track. Kirk has played it on his show on Tuesday, so if you want to hear the new Missing Diamonds track, you can listen to that on Kirk's show on the Mixcloud. I forgot about the Mixcloud for a second now. I was wondering what the on-demand server was called. But they're a fantastic local band, really great. This is Call on Me. You would have heard it before.